I'm Lieutenant Colonel Hugo Clark, and I head up Army Outreach in Scotland. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. We want you to get the most possible value from this session and encourage you to ask any questions you have. Now, the QR code that will pop up here will take you to a Linktree site where you can find out a little bit more about the Army. It's not going to recruit you straight away. It's designed to be usable for education and youth gatekeepers as well. But if you have questions, please do add them to the chats as they occur to you as you're going along, and we'll get to them in time. Or put your hand up at the end and ask in person, and we'll come to you and make sure that we can answer your questions. Please feel free to add questions to the chat throughout. There's no need to wait until the end. And over the next 30 minutes, my team of soldiers drawn from units in Scotland will take you on a journey of discovery. We want to give you an insight into the quality of our people and to showcase the wide range of opportunities the British Army offers. We want the word to spread. We want to attract the best and brightest people, and you've got a pivotal role in helping us make that happen. So we protect, we serve, we educate, we influence. We are your army.
This is a story about the guts that bring glory, why some succeed while others do poorly. Now, I don't know if you can be born with get up and go, if the courage and honour that make you distinctive are learned or earned or purely instinctive. Some people step forward, they grasp the nettle and test their mettle. Some people look ahead, they leap out of bed. Take the day by surprise, face a challenge and rise. Grab the bull by the horns, look it squarely in the eyes. Right now across the land, from the salt of the earth to the awfully grand, there's people doing stuff that they never planned, to lend a hand or take a stand. It feels good, they say, to blaze a trail, to try and fail, then try again and tell the tale. So I don't mean to be blunt, but there's a truth to confront. Some people are okay with okay. Some put themselves in front.
I'm going to hand over to the team now, who are going to take you through the 3 steps everyone who joins the Army goes through. That's joining, serving, and leaving.
Good afternoon. I am Lance Corporal Conor Nisbet from 11 Explosive Ordnance Disposal and Search Regiment based in Edinburgh. I'm part of Scotland's bomb disposal team. I'm going to be covering the join well portion of this presentation as the person that's most recently been through the process. First of all, a little bit about me. I grew up in Motherwell, did well at high school. Before going on to university, still studied civil engineering at UWS. When I completed my degree, I felt the need to do something more before I ended up stuck in an office looking at AutoCAD for the rest of my life. I wanted to do something that mattered, that could make a real impact, so I applied to join the Army as an ammunition technician. I did my basic training at Army Training Centre Pirbright, learning basic soldiering skills before moving on to Defence School for Transport, where I gained my CNA driving licence. From there, I moved on to my specialist trade training, split between the Defence Academy Srivingham, which taught the science behind explosives, and DM Kyneton, which taught more of the practical elements, all done in order to make you the Army's subject matter experts when it comes to explosives. In my current role, I'm based in Edinburgh, where I work. My work varies from giving technical assistance to units storing ammunition to the more exciting side of providing the explosive ordnance disposal capability inside the UK, where we can come across anything from old hand grenades to improvised explosive devices. Outside my work, I get plenty of time to pursue my interests. The Army's great at making time for you to get involved in sport, and due to that, I become an avid, albeit not particularly good climber, and had the opportunity to get involved in a fair amount of adventurous training, like earlier this year when a group of us from Edinburgh spent the week hill walking up in Inverness. The first step towards securing the Army is understanding how you can join. Our priority above all is to recruit talent. We know that diverse teams work best, so we don't discriminate anyone based on their gender, sexuality, religion or social background.
What's it like being a female soldier? I'm often asked. I wouldn't know, I answer.
No one calls me good for a woman.
When I
the one stitching them up!
What tells me to calm down, sweetheart, when I'm airlifting civilians out of rising waters.
I'm not a miss or a missus. I'm a sergeant in charge of uncovering missing intelligence.
I'm not issued beach body rations.
Or rifles with easy pull triggers for smaller hands.
And you're outside, signs on the toilets, I become on operation!
There's no such thing as the ladies' team.
What's it like being a female soldier? I'm often asked. I wouldn't know, I answer. I am a soldier.
We'll show you the different ways you can join. Background, again, is no barrier. In fact, the British Army is an engine for social mobility. Perhaps the first way many people learn about the Army or develop an interest in us is through one of our outreach activities or through the Army Cadets. For example, in Scotland, we engage with young people aged 11 and up regularly in secondary schools and colleges with sports clubs, uniformed organisations. We deliver team activities that develop students' meta skills aligned with the Skills 4.0 model. There's a difference between engagement and recruiting, which is currently managed by a contractor, CAPTA, and the Army Recruiting Group, represented on this call by Major Joe Dickens. Engagement aims to introduce and inspire. Primarily, we want young people and their gatekeepers to meet and talk to our soldiers. That way we can bust the many myths and misconceptions about who soldiers are and what they do. You can join the Army either as a soldier, these are the specialists in trade, or as an officer, these are the people who provide management and leadership for soldiers. Once you decide which route to choose, you will follow either the soldier or the officer pathway. The earliest someone may choose to join the Army is from the age of 16 by attending the Army Foundation College in Harrogate. This is what we call the junior entry route. It's a world-class college which delivers a curriculum of military skills alongside academic qualifications and apprenticeships. On average, about 30% of those entering the Army Foundation College have previously been excluded from school, and upon the completion, 100% of these young people leave with a Nat 5 in English, and 95% of them have a Nat 5 in maths.
Welcome to the Army Foundation College, Harrogate.
If you like to get stuck in, you're in the right place. Come and have a look at one of our military study lessons.
Now we're conducting our strength and conditioning class.
This is the cookhouse where we eat most of our meals.
Now I've got drill.
This is the start of your Army career.
For standard entry soldiers, the age to join is 17 years and 6 months when you start training. Basic training will take place at either Catterick, Pirbright or Winchester, depending on the role you've chosen. For example, infantry soldiers are trained, educated and developed at the Infantry Training Centre at Catterick. You can also join the Army as an officer, either with hires, advanced hires or after university. All officers conduct their training at the Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst. You may be surprised to learn that most officer cadets joining Sandhurst were educated at state schools, again reinforcing that within the British Army your background does not limit your opportunities. You can learn about becoming an officer through the University Officer Training Corps, or UOTC, which is where university students get the opportunity to undertake reserve officer training in a way designed to fit around their degrees. There are also a number of Army officer bursaries available to fund or to support university, with enhanced and specialist bursaries for more technical roles in the Army.
Aspiration.
Inspiration.
Perspiration.
Education.
The Army saw in me a future leader.
A future leader.
A future leader.
Now I am studying, unleashing my imagination.
Able to concentrate on my education.
Knowing the Army has trusted me.
Believed in me.
Funded me.
I can join the OTC and be part of a community. Make friends.
Go on exercise.
Learn to ski.
For students like me studying technical courses, there's even more funding from the Green Armed Forces.
For an aspiring health professional or engineer, get more money in your account year on year. And when my finals are done, and at last it's time,
I'll be ready, boots polished and shined.
Adventures ahead of me, ready to be immersed in training at the Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst.
all I need is aspiration,
inspiration,
perspiration,
education.
For those who cannot commit to a full-time military career, the Army Reserve allows reservists to serve part-time alongside their civilian lives. Reservists bring back discipline, resilience and strong teamwork. Whether they're building a career, studying or seeking new challenges, the Army Reserve offers purpose, development and adventure. Service is voluntary and delivered on a part-time basis, requiring 27 days of service per year. Aside from the generous salary and being part of the Army comes with many other benefits, such as subsidised accommodation, free gym facilities, free medical and dental care, and a pension you don't contribute. And this is just the beginning. For an opportunity to see the world, get fit and play sports, participating in adventurous training, making lifelong friends along the way, and being part of something really matters. Protecting our way of life against a growing and diverse array of threats, deterring aggression, and serving society. Life in the Army is extremely rewarding. As you can see, we have people join us in a multitude of ways from different experiences and backgrounds, but when they join, they're all presented with equal opportunities to be the best.
So, now you've joined as either an officer or soldier, and you're probably wondering what you'll be doing on a day-to-day basis. Good afternoon. I'm Sergeant Major Jerry McGuinness, a Company Sergeant Major for the Intelligence, Surveillance and Reconnaissance Company within 2nd Battalion, the Royal Regiment of Scotland, based in Pennycook. I grew up just outside Glasgow in East Dunbartonshire and went to school locally. I wasn't top of the class, I did alright, but truth be told, I was more into sports and seeing my pals once the bell went. What I lacked in grades, I made up for in energy, drive and a fair bit of cheek. So, when I told my teachers I was joining the army, it raised a few eyebrows. But a month later, at 16, I was on the train south to Basingbourn on my new path. I didn't have a grand plan, just knew I wanted more than the usual 9 to 5. What I found was a career that's taken me across the world, from training in Kenya straight out of Phase 1 to operations in the Middle East. And one of my proudest roles, training and commissioning officers at the Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst. Every posting taught me something new, not just about soldiering, but about leadership, resilience, and working with people from all walks of life. Now, as a senior leader, I mentor young soldiers and help shape our company's culture along with my officer in command. I've deployed a hybrid leadership style, balancing transactional clarity with transformational inspiration. It's not about barking orders, it's about knowing my people and helping them grow. I'm also in my 2nd year of the Chartered Management Degree Apprenticeship with Staffordshire University. It's helped me sharpen my leadership and academic insight and formalise what I've learned on the ground. Development doesn't stop at any rank, it's a lifelong journey. Outside of the army, my most important role has been a dad. My daughter keeps me grounded and reminds me that there's life more than just work. I've always had a strong passion for sport. I run regularly and take part in the occasional race when time allows. Within the battalion, I stay involved as both a player and coach for the football team, which helps me build connections and contribute to team morale. The army's more than a job. It's given me purpose, lifelong mates, and a chance to make a real difference. My journey proves that the Army can shape you, challenge you, and support you in every step of the way. It's not just a job, it's a community that grows with you. The Army was founded almost 4 centuries ago, and it can sometimes be difficult to break away from the dictations of the armies from history. From media reports and from stories on social media, but we are not just about fighting wars. It can be difficult to shape our perspective from seeing the Army solely as a combat organisation, or focusing on the ceremonial duties and traditions that we uphold. It is true that our primary focus is to train for conflict, but we are always ready to answer the call at home or abroad in a non-conflict capacity. From supporting natural disasters, such as responding to hurricanes in the Caribbean, or evacuating entitled persons from Sudan, through to our efforts during the pandemic helping the NHS. We serve communities on a global scale. Linked to the government through the Ministry of Defence, the British Army, along with the Royal Air Force and Royal Navy, combine efforts to work towards 3 national security objectives: to protect our people, to project our global influence, and to promote our prosperity. Allies respect us, adversaries fear us, the government values us, industry works with us, society is proud of us, and, of course, the best serve with us. Everyone is a soldier first, so yes, they'll be marching. Yes, they'll be weapon handling, and yes, you'll learn to operate in challenging conditions. But there's much more to serving, and some of you may already know. I said that we are soldiers first, but 70% of the Army is made up of people supporting the frontline work. The breadth and diversity of roles and experiences offered by the Army often takes people by surprise. I'm going to hand over briefly to the Army's apprenticeship team, who have joined us for today, so that they can tell you about the Army apprenticeships.
Hello, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Martin Arkell, and I'm the Operations Officer for the Army's apprenticeship programme. The Army is the largest employer provider of apprenticeships in the UK, with over 13,000 apprentices on programme, and we are proud to have been recognised again this year by the Sunday Times as the UK's top provider of apprenticeships. To be successful in operations, the British Army needs almost every trade you would expect to find in a small town, and we offer apprenticeships in each of those vocational areas. If you join the Army as a soldier, you will get the opportunity to enrol on one of over 40 different industry best practice apprenticeship standards, which include a wide range of STEM-related roles, animal husbandry and training, catering and healthcare, through to logistics, intelligence, data analyst and port operator related standards, to name but a few. There's something here for everyone. Not only will we teach you the knowledge and skills you need for your trade and enable you to gain recognised professional qualifications, but we will also build your ability to learn, solve problems, and lead others in the digital age, which will shape your life well beyond your military career. In the Army, we don't just invest in our people for now, we invest in them for life. Join well, serve well, leave well.
As well as encouraging our people to develop themselves professionally or academically, we understand the importance of sport and adventurous training. It's a core part of our job, which develops teamwork and confidence, together with physical and mental robustness.
Good afternoon, my name is Corporal Megan Reid, and my personal experience is that if you aspire to compete at the highest level, the Army will push you further. So my boxing journey began in the Army, having never boxed before in my life. The Army has an incredible culture of support and sport, and that support gave me the chance to discover a passion I never knew I had. Through their guidance, I earned a place on the Army boxing team and went on to represent both the Army and Scotland for 10 years. The highlight of my career was competing at the 2022 Commonwealth Games, and that's me in the top left corner of the slide, a moment I'll never forget. My story is not the only example of Army sport and success. Most of you will recognise other notable examples, including Heather Stannon, OBE, a double Olympic gold medalist, Preet Chandri, or Polar Preet, who holds the record for the longest unsupported crossing of the Antarctica, and double Olympic gold medalist Dame Kelly Holmes.
The British Army abroad undertake a multitude of missions, from supporting the Scottish Government emergency services with resilience, helping British nationals evacuate Sudan, to our work in supporting Ukraine. We stand ready to defend, protect, and train. We are a major contributor to NATO and the United Nations, and we also have soldiers deployed on overseas operations in the Middle East, Eastern Europe, and throughout Africa on numerous short-term training missions. When Russia illegally invaded Ukraine in February 2022, it was a stark reminder that the threat of major land conflict in Europe is not something consigned to the history books. Since 2014, we have been a key NATO partner in helping to train and equip the Ukrainian armed forces. But things have accelerated since the Russian invasion. We have provided ammunition, vehicles, and bespoke training packages and have trained over 60,000 Ukrainian troops here in the UK. We are also heavily committed to training alongside our NATO partners as part of our collective security responsibilities in Europe. In 2025, soldiers from the Royal Scots Dragoon Guards and 4th Battalion, the Royal Regiment of Scotland, or 4 Scots, deployed alongside our NATO allies in Exercise Steadfast Dart 25, and I deployed with my battalion to Estonia. These were a large-scale multinational exercise conducted across 3 geographical locations, demonstrating that NATO Allied Reaction Force can conduct and sustain complex operations across thousands of kilometres in Eastern Europe and in any conditions. The warring of Ukraine and the ongoing events in Gaza, together with the recent hostilities between Israel and Iran, reinforce the importance of how we can prepare our people for battle in the 21st century. We have changes made to us more agile and resilient. We have the latest cutting-edge technology to aid our personnel, whether on the front line or behind the scenes. One of the British Army's most radical programmes of transformation in the last 20 years is Future Soldier. Future Soldier will see the Army become the more global in its operations and partnerships. To keep up with changing threats, advancing technologies, and changing requirements, the Army is investing heavily in innovation and experimentation. Serving in the Army is more than just combat. We educate, we develop, and we equip people with a multitude of skills. We know how to work and play hard, and we remain there to support you and the rest of the UK.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lieutenant Alex Johnston, and I'm currently serving as the Army Education Centre as an Army educator in Edinburgh. My journey into the Army has been shaped by 3 key influences: movement, sport, and a deep curiosity about the world. Growing up in a military family, I've moved frequently and I've experienced life in different countries and different cultures. That early exposure taught me adaptability and resilience, qualities that have stayed with me throughout my career. Later, I decided to study at the University of Bristol, where I played first 15 rugby and represented the Army Women's 7 team. Sport has always been a huge part of my life, teaching me discipline, teamwork, and how to lead under pressure, skills that have further developed during my time at Sandhurst. While at university, I was fortunate enough to receive an Army bursary, which not only supported my studies, but also strengthened my commitment to joining the Army. It has given me the chance to travel extensively, broadening my perspective and preparing me for deployments to places like Nepal, Cyprus, and Vietnam. Each of these experiences brought unique challenges, but they also deepened my understanding of people and the importance of cultural awareness within our work. In my role, I focus on delivering leadership, training and enhancing the cognitive capabilities of our soldiers. Professional development is something I'm deeply passionate about, and I believe that leadership is a lifelong journey. The Army has given me the opportunity to grow, not just as an officer, but as a person, and I'm committed to helping others do the same. Outside of work, I stay active through rugby, which continues to be a source of energy and community for me. I also enjoy spending time with my dog, who reminds me to slow down and appreciate the moment. The Army has given me more than just a career, it's given me a purpose, a global perspective, and a chance to make a meaningful impact. I'm proud to serve and to contribute to the development of the next generation of leaders. The next stage in your career is leaving. Everything you do in the Army, whether you serve for 3 or 30 years, is about developing your character, employability, confidence, and setting you up for future success. All soldiers must reach a designated standard of numeracy and literacy if they want to promote. For example, more senior soldiers, like Mr. McGuinness, this is comparable to at least an HND or an SCQF level 8, if not higher. I've completed 2 years of service within the British Army, and it's equipping me with the skills which will set me up for success when I make the decision to leave. Leaving the Army and transitioning back into civilian life is a major event, and we equip our people for that transition. Occasionally, you might hear important but increasingly rare stories about ex-service personnel that have struggled to adapt. I can assure you that our current framework trains, equips, and prepares people for their civilian lives. Having undergone world-class training, and with the experience of working and flourishing in testing conditions, our people are more employable and possess a wide set of transferable skills. In fact, it's estimated that the value of that training to the nation's GDP is more than £550 million per year. On average, most soldiers serve between 6 and 10 years. To support service leavers, we link them with our Careers Transition Partnership. This helps approximately 15,000 service leavers each year through the personal resettlement support, including access to subsidised vocational training courses, training grants, and resettlement allowances. They have links to thousands of allied employers looking to hire highly motivated and well-trained service leavers. Legislation was introduced in the Armed Forces Act 2021, ensuring that health, housing, and education providers are legally bound to give due regard to the service community. Often, the challenge many ex-service personnel have is knowing that it exists. So, gov.uk Support for Veterans website has recently replaced the previous Veterans Gateway. This new platform provides a comprehensive directory and online sources for veterans and their families. We hope that you now have a better understanding of the journey that one undergoes in the Army of joining, serving, and leaving. Whether a journey of 3 or 3 decades, the sense of achievement and having been part of something that matters unites us all. So that's why we're keen to tell you about the people we really are. When our people do leave, they often go on to do some amazing things.
I used to be a soldier, and now I am a master locksmith.
I used to be a soldier, and now I'm a journalism coordinator for the BBC.
I used to be a soldier, and now I'm a YouTuber.
My name is Anna Lovico, and I used to be a soldier, and now I am a fashion designer and a creative director of London Pacific Fashion Week.
You know, and for me in my industry, it's so competitive, and the only way I was ever going to succeed is I had to work harder and I had to dig deeper.
Being a soldier has given me the strength and resilience to start up my own business and, you know, step forward into the world of fashion.
During the 25 years that I have served, the Army gave me the skills that last a lifetime.
The Army instilled in me adaptability, determination to succeed, and high levels of professionalism.
When you do leave, it's not without support. We understand our role in setting people up for success, and we know that employers recognise the value of our people.
Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of our presentation, today was all about uncovering the opportunities the British Army has to offer and about taking you with us on a journey of discovery. So I hope that you've learned something new this afternoon. Now, the real value of this webinar is in the questions you ask, and I urge you to do so. You'll have perspectives, opinions, and advice for us, and we really want to hear it. We'll answer as fully and as honestly as we can. Thank you very much indeed, and thank you all for listening.